Hello everyone, welcome to HIM 225. This is the orientation for your course. This orientation lecture is required. Once you have listened to the lecture, you need to complete the lecture quiz. You must earn a grade of 100 to progress in this course. Once you've completed the quiz, then you'll need to review the course schedule and plan of instruction and then complete the compliance statement. Once you've done that, then the weekly assignments and course content will become available to you. In HIM 225, we are continuing our study of ICD-10. We began it in HIM 216. We're going to be using the same textbook. You do not need to purchase a new textbook or the textbook access code. The access code that you used for that textbook should still be valid. However, you do need to have a current access code for 3M through the AHIMA Virtual Lab. You will need to contact Ms. Seibert about this. I believe that you will be purchasing that access code in the bookstore. You'll actually pay for it, and then I believe that Ms. Seibert will actually provide you with your access code. This course is going to be set up, it is set up the same as 216. You're going to have lectures each week for the chapters that we're covering. Some of them are required, and if they are required, they do include a question that you need to answer and submit the assignment just as you did in 216. There are other lectures that aren't required, they're not graded, but because of the content, I recommend that you listen to them. Some of them are covering procedures, and they covering the homework content as well. In this course, you're going to have chapter review exercises from the textbook, and most of the chapters do include workbook assignments, but not all include workbook assignments. If you're not going to be able to submit your assignment by the due date, you need to contact me, your instructor, before that assignment is due, and we need to agree upon an extension for you so that a time when you can get those assignments submitted without a penalty. Even if you do arrange with me to turn in an assignment late, when I grade, I will populate your assignment with a 0 so that you can see the impact that that has on your average. And then when you submit that assignment, I will grade it, and that grade will change. We will be following the program attendance policy. Just logging into the course is not equivalent to attendance. You actually need to complete assignments in order to be considered in attendance for this course. All of the coding assignments are graded manually. There are a few assignments that you'll have that have multiple choice questions for not only the lecture but for the homework assignment. That's particularly true in the OB chapter. But for the rest of them, I grade them manually after the due date. I usually I'll be grading in 225 just like I did in 216, usually within 3 days after the due date. And once I grade, I'll post an announcement and tell you that grading is complete. As in 216, the grade that is assigned at the time you submit those coding assignments is not accurate. As I've shared with you before, unless you format your answer exactly the way the answer's formatted for that assignment, it's counted wrong. And I go back in and review all of those. I make you aware that I've done the grading, so when you go in and look at it, if you have questions or you feel there's a discrepancy, you get in touch with me, and I'll go back in and take another look at it and make adjustments as needed. The college policy is that assignments should be graded within 7 days after the due date. And if there's ever a time that I am not able to do that, I will make sure that you are aware of that. You might recall that we suggest you use Internet Explorer for 3M, and then Blackboard works best with either Firefox or Chrome. And actually, I've had to use Chrome with Blackboard a couple of times. What I needed to do would not work in Firefox. So if you have any problems in Firefox with Blackboard, switch to Chrome. As with 216, there is no paper codebook required. We're going to continue to use 3M and the integrated codebook. It works exactly the same as a paper book. It's just much faster. We also have access to the resources in 3M, which are phenomenal. We have the official coding guidelines. We have Coding Clinic for ICD-10, Coding Clinic for CPT. We have CPT Assistant, as well as the other resources, the anatomy plates, and all of those other resources. And I hope you're using them. If you begin working in coding, you will realize what a valuable tool that is for coders. Again, I'm going to suggest that if you didn't do it before, maybe now you want to go back and print out those coding guidelines. Save them to a flash drive, take them to some place like Staples or Office Depot and have them printed out. You probably cheaper than paying for toner and printing them at home, because I think it's up to 126 pages, and you can have them printed front and back. I suggest, if you have an option, that you use punched paper. Put these guidelines in a notebook, tab them so you can separate them out, and use them every time you code. You need to read them over and over and over again, highlight them, write on them, whatever you need to do to really use them as a working tool. And again, you're going to want to reference those guidelines anytime you code. If you have any questions while you're in the course, always be sure and contact me. I have no problem talking with you on the phone, answering emails, answering any questions that you have. I want you to be very successful in this course. Even though we have 14 weeks in this course, it is still challenging to cover this amount of complex material in that period of time. And that will conclude this orientation lecture.